KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side, the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty.
Nithyanandam. We welcome all our participants joining from all over the world. We welcome all KAILASA Vasis joining us from all KAILASA monasteries, gurukuls, temples, and centers around the world. We welcome all the Nithyananda TV, KAILASA TV, Hinduism Now TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube viewers, and all those blessed to have Jnana Diksha two-way video conferencing who are joining us for today's program. We welcome you all to today's pre-Satsang hosting, which will be followed by today's alive Satsang. We'll start with the brief introduction of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanithanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of KAILASA, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilization nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a 1008 incarnation of Paramashiva, as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors, who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities a lifestyle for humanity. Before 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was identified as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva by spiritual adepts and enlightened masters of Hinduism. In the year 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was initiated into Bala Sannyas and performed his first Chaturmasya Vratam at the age of 3. In 1988, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the future Guru Mahasanithanam or Pontiff of the Thondamandalai Adinam, the oldest monastic university. On 24th May 1994, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the successor of Arunachala Surangapita by Guru Parampara. In the year 1999, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the mission Nithyananda Sangha to revive KAILASA internationally. In the same year, he was also coronated as the successor of Kashi Sarvagapita. On 4th November 2002, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded Adi Kailasha Sarvagapita. On 1st January 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the successor of Bhagyanagara Sripura Sarvagapita. On 31st December 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the incumbent emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam of Suryavamsa lineage. The year 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Adi Pallava Sarangapitam. In the same year, he was also declared as the Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada. On 27th April 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasanithanam of Madurai, Shamala Pita Sarangapitam, the oldest Hindu papal state and monastic kingdom. In the year 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, which is the largest apex monastic order of Hinduism. In the same year, in 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwara Atal Akhada by Acharya Mahamandaleshwar Sukadevanandaji, the then incumbent spiritual head. In the year 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Tanjore Adinam and as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Tiruvarur Adinam and as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Vedaranyam Adinam and Panchanadikulam Adinam. In the year 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Dharmamukti Swargapuram Adinam. In the same year, he was also coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Adipita Koladamat, and he was also elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 spiritual leaders and pontiffs. The following pictures show some of the global initiatives of KAILASA. 28 years of relentless humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution and peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices through various international agencies and bodies. The following pictures show a small glimpse of the 28 years of relentless hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through KAILASA and its various international agencies and bodies. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored more than 300 books and written more than 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Over 20 million copies, books, and articles have been sold, read, and downloaded. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific and most viewed guru in the digital world. He is read and watched by over 1 billion followers in Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has delivered over 10,000 hours of discourses, which have gathered over 1 billion views on the social media. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is respected as commentator of all sacred scriptures, such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, etc. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins, Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. The sovereign order of KAILASA, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace and to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu university in the world, with satellite campuses in 150 countries. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of over 1,000 KAILASA Enlightenment ecosystems. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the founder and reviver of over 100 Sarangapitas. Now, we'll be moving on and looking at some of the global initiatives of KAILASA. We'll be looking at KAILASA's Ishanya project. Actual truth, humanity as a modern society has already reached a state of technology and infrastructure to provide food, clothing, and medical care for all 8 billion people calling planet Earth home. Unfortunately, our decision makers have not reached the necessary conscious level to make the humanitarian decisions of providing basic needs for all 8 billion people. The survival needs for all 8 billion people doesn't depend on availability of housing and food, but rather on the conscious level of decision makers. It is consciousness we lack, nothing else. We'll be looking at various aspects such as food wastage, medical equipment wastage, clothing wastage, home and shelter wastage to understand how one side we have a surplus and we are dumping such as things like food into waste on one side in order to maintain steady prices, and on the other side, millions are dying out of hunger. We'll start with food wastage. One third of the global food production is wasted. On the other side, 35 million affected by food poverty. One third of the food produced in the world for human consumption every year, approximately 1.3 billion tons, gets lost or wasted. Food losses and waste amount to roughly 680 billion US dollars in industrialized countries and 310 billion US dollars in developing countries. 155 million people in 55 countries or regions faced a food crisis in the year 2021. Adding the number has now increased to 265 million due to COVID-19 epidemic. Even if just one-fourth of the food currently lost or wasted globally could be saved, it would be enough to feed 870 million hungry people in the world. 35 million people are dying from hunger worldwide. A child dies from hunger every 10 seconds. Poor diets are linked to 20% of all deaths worldwide. Now we look at medical equipment wastage. One side, we have UX medical waste, for example, will attain 5.25 billion US dollars by 2027. Among regulated and unregulated clinical waste, around 80 to 85% can be reused. Unused supplies in medical facilities are often discarded unnecessarily rather than stored for later use, adding even more unnecessary garbage being catered away to the landfills. Reprocessing industry saving 15 million pounds of medical waste from landfills and reducing costs to hospitals and surgical centers by over 544 million US dollars. The world's poorest countries are paying some of the highest drug prices, with everyday medicines costing up to 30 times more than in rich nations. Half the world lacks access to the essential health services. 100 million still pushed into extreme poverty because of health expenses. So one side we see a wastage of 5.25 billion US dollars in medical waste, and other side we see 100 million pushed into poverty because of health expenses. We'll be moving on to clothing wastage. 59,000 tons of clothes are getting wasted on one side, and on the other side, 1 out of 8 children affected by multidimensional poverty. 100 million garments are produced each year, with 33% going to landfill. Every year, 59,000 tons of used and unsold clothing end up in Chile from all over the world. Every 10 minutes, an estimated 6,000 kilos of clothing and textiles are dumped in landfills. 1 in 8 children without basic clothes. 1 billion children worldwide are multidimensionally poor without access to basic accessories. 22,000 children die each day due to inhygiene around the world. We'll be looking at next vacant home and shelter. One side, 42 million homes are vacant, almost 10% of the homes worldwide. And on the other side, there's an increase in homelessness by 27%. The world has millions of vacant homes. 42 million of its 426 million homes are vacant. Roughly 1 in 10 homes in advanced economies are empty. Japan has topped the list of the nations with the highest percentage of vacant homes, with 13.6% of its dwellings not lived in. 1.3 million are in Canada. 27% increase in homelessness is likely due to the economic impacts of COVID-19. More than one third of all people facing homelessness services are women and children. For the last 5 years, core homelessness has been rising year on year worldwide. Homeless people are over 9 times more likely to take their own life than the general population. 78% of homeless people report having a physical health condition, 44% of them having mental health diagnosis, and 41% use drugs and alcohol to cope up with mental health issues. KAILASA's aim is to raise the consciousness level in the world and bring to the fore the real issues facing the world, and through a specialized process of recycling, facilitating the movement of good quality unwanted items from the haves to the haves not. This Chaturmasya, 4 months from July to October 2022 alone, 1 crore people or 10 million people should practice samadhi to raise their consciousness, and 1 crore people or 10 million people should be pulled out of poverty. This is Kailasa's aim as set by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our beloved Guru, Swamiji. Moving on, there are threefold benefits for donors. It is a great boon to provide to those in need. For the world, recycling removes a lot of hazardous material from nature, adding to a cleaner environment. For those in need, millions of people around the world will be alive and raised out of poverty and hunger and inadequate health practices due to lack of medical facilities. It is a win-win-win situation. Over the last 27 years, Sri Kailasa has built a network of legal entities in 140 countries around the world, holding charity status in 118 of these countries. In many countries, Sri Kailasa's entities are registered distributors as well, meaning we can manage the entire process end to end. We will make full use of this network to collect clothing, medical equipment, and food material from the developed nations, transport them, and distribute it to countries and regions in need, with all transportation and distribution expenses sponsored by Sri Kailasa. Our process involves collection of clothing, medical equipment, and foodstuff from various countries around the world, followed by a quality control and processing of received goods, and finally, a distribution of good quality clothing, medical equipment, and food to the countries in need. Now, let us look at some of the instances of how Ishanya project is contributing to the world. In Madurai, India, for example, almost 26,800 servings of food offered to homeless and hungry. In Jayatinanagar, Kilinochi, Sri Lanka, 2,000 meals served at Mahadeva Swamical Children's Home. In Kotagala region, Sri Lanka, 2,500 articles of clothing donated and distributed. In Hyderabad region, India, weekly Annadan feeding hundreds of poor villagers from around the region. In Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu, India, non-stop day and night Annadan and healing sessions for hundreds of thousands of pilgrims circumambulating the sacred Arunachala. With this, we conclude this segment on the Ishanya project. Now, a very important reminder, a very special and important reminder for all our viewers. Paramashivoham Level 3, starting from October 6th to October 26th. After 3 years, the most awaited program with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Paramashivoham is an immersive 21-day awakening event to teach you the science of manifesting the ultimate consciousness in you. This Paramashivoham manifests the deeper experiences of 25 states of consciousness, vertical time zones, power manifestation. Join us for this grand event by registering at kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. Now, moving on to the next segment. In the next segment, we'll be having some very special guests who will be sharing their experiences of manifesting Paramashivoham for them. Paramashivoham in their daily life, and Paramashivoham as an important event, where they were able to directly receive the initiations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and manifest Paramashivoham in their reality. We'll be back very shortly. Please stay with us. Nithyananda.
Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side, the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature. and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty.
Nithyanandam, welcome back. We have some very special guests joining us today. We have Srinitya Avimuktananda Ayya. Thank you, Ayya, for joining us. Srinitya Avimuktananda Ayya is one of our lead causers who has been trained to cause people's reality, help people manifest what they desire into the reality. We also have Surya Kumar Ayya. Thank you so much, Ayya, for joining, one of our Paramashivoham graduates. Today, we'll be discussing on how to manifest wealth, how to manifest Paramashivatva in the wealth dimension. Thank you so much, Avimuktananda Ayya. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam, everyone. So, as rightly introduced, we are seeing how Swamiji is helping us expressing our Paramashivatva in all dimensions. Even when we are praying, Swamiji nicely put it, Sogamasmi is a space. We have it and we get oneness through his gift. All the spiritual attainment we are getting in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, it comes through as a gift from Guru. Guru Sishya Parampara and training from Guru is a way Hinduism lives, survives to live. So, in this thing, last few days, we were exploring the possibility, Shastra Pramana, Sakshi Pramana, how Swamiji is expressed his dimension through healing and health. Like that, today we are going to see about the will. Hinduism, Purushartha, we have 4 Purushartha: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Very well streamlined process, you can say. Dharma means, you can principally say like, way of life, or, the law of life. And Artha means the meaning of creating a wealth. It's not a right translation. You all know that it's very difficult to translate and bring the same meaning of Sanskrit words. So I'm just bringing some kind of a parallels. Kama means the wish we wanted to fulfill through the basics of law of life and the Artha. And finally, all attains to moksha. So always there is a question that getting into spirituality, a person has to, leave all the wealth. Is that what, does it mean by, do we have to renunciate all? Swamiji very nicely put it, absolutely there is no need to resonate. There is no need to, renounce. With this help of spiritual truth, we can completely, beautifully, exponentially increase our wealth. And there are many Sakshi Pramana for that. In fact, by the way in which we are living, if we apply the spiritual truth, it will be more beneficial, more karmic, more dharmic way of generating wealth. There are numerous definitions Swamiji is giving for wealth. Wealth is not just money which you have it in bank. It's not about zero. It's about how you inspire people and making to do certain things in your life. It's all about how you are adding value to someone's life. It is all about how you bring oneness with the business or the service or the money-making mechanism you're having. So even by applying your Advaita concept, oneness concept, there is a beautiful way of making or generating a wealth. So we have many stories. Today we have one story to just catch up with how all this principle, Advaitic principles are applied and people got successfully, manifested what they want in dimension of the wealth. Right? With that introduction, I welcome our Surya Kumaraya. Just he is here to share how he manifested the wealth. So once again to remind, this October 6th, we are going to have Paramashivoham level 3. And one very good news is this will be starting on October 6th with the bank day. like approximately some 4 to 5 superb initiations Swamiji is going to give, which I'll share the information after Ayya share. Ayya, welcome.
Thank you, Swamiji and Sangha, for giving me sharing opportunity. I was associated with Swamiji since 2006. I attended Swamiji's various programs. So each program and session brings something in my life. It changed me something in my life as a day-to-day routine, as well as some dimension in my life. So in that wealth dimension, how I achieved it, just I would like to explain today. This normal program I managed to attend. That is not a ASP, PSP and all. But I attending and Magasas 2007, Paramashivoham attending and all, we need to make breakthrough. That is, then only you can be able to attend it. That's the things, we have to take a jump. Then only that the Swamiji blessing will get. Because we should not live a routine life. We have to come out of routine life and have a conscious shift. That is what the Swamiji is going to give in this program. That is what I experienced. So in this for wealth purpose creating itself, I have faced so many challenges and made come out of so many patterns also. For example, for attending Mahasava 2007 program, I made intention 2007 February when I come for Mahashivaratri. Swami was declaring this year end you're going to connect MS 2017. People can over what they can attend. So after the moment I attend this birds, so some things went into my mind. I want to attend this program. I don't know what is the money, everything. I want to attend. That is the only intention was there. I was keeping this intention continuously for 6 to 7 months. That time I do not have even job. I was just doing 1 or 2 training jobs. That is not enough to managing my family needs also, day-to-day needs. Still that intention has come. I want to attend. So keeping the intentions, I was coming to Bidadi every month. I used to get a Swami initiation for Mahasava 2017. Then ultimately the day also climax has come. December 2017, Swamiji fixed the date. But until December 16th morning, I didn't have money to manifest for Paramashivoham Mahasava 2017. But the intention is saying me, I will sit in the class. I do not know which way money will come, but I will sit in the class. That intention not given up to me. That is strong. It was there. I am not shaken from in my space. I was keeping strong prayer to Swamiji. Swamiji, I want to attend. That too, day 1, I want to attend. I do not miss any class. That was my intention. That with that intention, just I was sitting in one temple. My home near one temple is that. Just I was sitting in the temple. And then I thought of calling one person. I called one person. Ayya, I want to attend program. Tomorrow is there. I do not know. I don't have money. I want to attend. Some donation I have to give. I have to attend. Then he told, do you want any money borrow from me? I told, I don't want to borrow. Because I already don't have a job. I don't have confidence to give back. It takes time and all. So I want something other means. Then he told, do you have any land? Yes. Yes, I have got some land. Do you want to sell? Yes, I told. I want something, this much money for donation. Then within 1 hour, he came back to me. He told, Ayya, your property is ready to sell. What is the amount you want? I told, just I want to MS 2000, what is the money repaid? That is I want. Immediately it is manifested. Ayya. Within 2 hours, he brought it money. He's asking for registration. Then 4 o'clock went for registration. Then made money. I got the money. Then I deposit all money in my account. I tried to transfer to Bidadi account. But that day I could able to transfer 2 lakhs only. That day limit is there. I could not able to do it. Then anyway, I went to Bidadi. I was telling this. They told there is some not a receivable donation. Just you need to check. There is a formality account center. Just I was waiting. Then I informed the same thing to Ayya. Ayya, I was just sitting. Ayya, this bank limitation, the donation not reached full. Then he told, don't worry. Without my consent, he put balance amount to me account in Bidadi. Then these are all taking almost 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. But that time by 10:30, I think 11 o'clock, Swamiji was starting from our Bidadi main gate. The welcome was there. The moment I heard the sound, everything, I was in crazy. I want to go to welcome the turn. What to do? The intense pain was there. That time I called that fellow. The intense pain was there. I called it. That fellow, without my consent, he put money. balance amount. Then they allowed, then I went to see Swamiji. By the time Swamiji come to Rajesham. This is what happened. But here one incident happened. So that intense pain was there. No? That pain, if I were allowed, why it is happening to me, I want to share. Because Swamiji gave that intense some experience to see in our inner space to break out some pattern. But the intense pain, I was so crazy, Swamiji, I want that. I want to come for your charity welcome purpose. You make it happen. I want to come. That is all my intense prayer. So Swamiji permitted me. But if would have allowed maybe another 2 or 3 hours, my pattern would have revealed to me by Swamiji. I would have completed that pattern. But after it took me for 4 years to complete that pattern. That's for nothing but earning money is very difficult. So breaking that pattern, it is break after Paramashivoham level 2 only it is break. If it allowed that day at least 1 hour, Swami would have shown me that pattern, that time itself, I would have break that. But that is what so many things happening to me in the name of incident. But I was so crazy, I want that. That is Swamiji allowed. Oh, this fellow is so crazy. Let me allow. Don't put so much faith. With this grace, is allowed me to go in time. That's my intention. If I would have gone with Swamiji intention means, Swamiji direction means, I would have come to that pattern 3 years before itself. I would have manifested more money. That's more wealth. So Swamiji, everything he wants to give means he put some test that brings some dimension of where we have to see where the blind spot is. That for opening only, that is putting so many ways on that surprise, everything is happening. That we need to see, look into our inside, where I'm checking, where is blind spot. If you look into that, you can come out of that pattern. So this pattern took me for 3 years. So Swamiji is ready to give that moment, but I'm not in the position, I am not lenient to take that one due to my emotions. So that is
Exactly.
the one thing.
So good, Aya. So I just wanted to reiterate to all the viewers that it's about not about the wealth. Okay, through the wealth, as Aya was beautifully explaining that how the miracle happens. As his story says, I've listened this a couple of times, but every time it just brings me to the surprise that there are many times you wanted to do some transactions, business transactions, it just gets dragged. But when you have an intention of doing something just by a phone call, this all happens. For him, what has happened, anybody, trying to do this deal will understand it goes for a year. Just one night you sit and think you want to do something. Just one call he made. And all things goes flow. The person at another end just stands there for what I want to manifest. It is the way Swamiji sends cosmic help. This is a way Cosmos really wants to help us when we wanted to have, or when we are going to have a real intention. When your intentions are really intense, Cosmic is absolutely there to help you. That is a cue. That's a lesson. That's what IS experience is all about. And as he nicely put it, Swamiji is making all this Leela happen to look in ourselves. Why this happened to me? What is the nuances inside it? How I internalize it? What is one unnecessary thought current I have? It has to get out of it. So he clearly got an indication that the pattern what he carries of generating a wealth is a very difficult process. That's what we hold it for a long time. And this is a role model in the world. All this rack to riches stories is talking about, or giving an idea in our mind that generating a wealth, you have to give a life. This goes inside. So we completely go out of our dharmic way of generating a wealth, holding it, spending it, and exploring it. Many people people ask why Swamiji has to, charge for the spirituality as free and other things. Yes, 99%, 95% of all our programs are completely free. But in this Kali Yuga, you are in the process of generating a wealth. Swamiji is testing your intensity. Even in that process can be used for attaining an enlightenment. If you see the Nayanmar stories, most of the stories are grahasas where they are through wealth, the Shivapada. So this is an excellent story that help people to understand the look in yourself and take the wealth out of you. Wealth incompletions out of you. I'm sorry. Wealth incompletion out of you. So, yes. So I got your point very nicely. Please continue that you have manifested wealth, you manifested the program, but the load of having a wealth is a very difficult thing, is gone out of you, right? How do you feel after?
Repeat your last thing, say.
Yeah. So you have got a great lesson that generating a wealth is not an issue, right? I mean, it's not a very tough thing. That was one of the biggest incompletions you are carrying. So the fear of spending money was always there. Right?
Yes, I will come to that here. Yes,
exactly.
I got your
so
point.
Please continue.
So there, that I struck that pattern, earning money is very difficult. So after MS 2017, I completed. Then I had more money. So making money for me, no issue. But as you said, spending, giving to others, I'm having a restriction. I'm not easily used to give money. I do so much calculation, then backup for so many things. I have some uncomfort to give money others, means I will have some uncomfort. This I overcome. I supposed to overcome this in Magasana 2017 itself, but I didn't do it. During this Paramashivoham 3, recent last year attending time, 6 months before attending time, I overcome this pattern. I was having money in my hand. I don't have any problem, but I want to pay to that to our donation purpose. But I'm approaching various banks and so many restrictions coming. I almost approach bank and I am a roaming person. Wherever I go, I try to there. Mumbai was there that time. I tried Mumbai bank. They told so many formalities, they are not accepted. Then within few days, I went to Calcutta. There also I tried. They told too much formalities, it is not to be done. Then by the time it went 6 days, then I was attending this completion classes conducted by our Canada, I think. They were conducting completion program for this Paramashivoham 3. That I attended. In that I come to know. So money is very difficult, as I already have that broke button. But giving to others also should be very cautious, because some incident happened in my life. I given loan to 2 people, they not returned to me. That's why giving money to others is not easy for me. That pattern is holding me. Then I broke the pattern in the completion session. Then I come to Chennai. I went to my bank manager, as I want to. He told, okay, come sir, I will make it. Without any detail, after completion of this pattern, he is agreed. In Chennai, just by the time I reached Chennai, I went to my bank manager, sir, I want to transfer some money. Can you do the work? It will without any say, okay, sir, come and we'll do it. There is no restriction. The restriction was there in my inside. That is giving money to others. It will come back to me. That is a strong pattern I was having. That I broke during completion. That was my Paramashivoham 3 payment was happening through bank easily. That means I have money. I couldn't able to give to others. Maybe here, the others means even some wherever I'm giving to somebody, that is others coming. That pattern I broke. Then I could be able to enter into the Paramashivoham 3, attend almost 9 days, I think 10 days I attend that program last. So in that conscious shift happened. After so many wealth changes happen, that I will come to here. This we can discuss, then we'll later.
Correct. So the first is generating a money is a very tough thing. That is first block we have. And even if I generate it, I have to hold it. And giving out is the other big issue, right? So this is what Swamiji very nicely said in one of the definition of the wealth. It's absolutely, I think, a few tens definition he has given what is wealth. In that one of the better, very close to my heart definition is, it's a currency, it's a current, it has to flow. So imagine you just observe current, and you're not supplying it back. What will happen to any station? A Lakshmi is the one where the wealth has to move on. It has to be in a cycle. It has to move on. But we, most of the time, out of greediness, want to have something, but hold it out of fear. So this is not a positive health program to tell you how to make more money. There are plenty of programs which talks about how to generate better business, how to make quick bucks. The Western, it's all based on a Western philosophy, which helps you to handle your greed, but they don't talk about your fear of finance. This is one of the sharpest difference I found. Our Eastern philosophy, particularly the way in which Swamiji address this wealth completions and incompletions, because we are completely based on dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The wealth which is not going to lead you to moksha, it's not going to have a currency, and it's going to have a heavy weight on you. Most of the time, just look in the wealth, what you'll be earning. Is it providing what security you look for? What happiness you look for? Is it really an asset or liability in your inner world? The answer would be shocking. It just creates a lot of intense fear, intense greed, which it becomes a non-involvement of the life or wrong involvement of the life. Swamiji has nicely defined to handle this is once again going back to the Sastric way. The Grihasthas are the money generators, always in our ancient Sanatanic Dharma, if you will, they would be the upholder of study, Jnana Sastra Dhyana. But the community which earns, always they give certain percentage to hold the ecosystem of holder. They may be the king, they may be a Vaishyas, or they may be, money makers, whatever the sect they belong to. The part of their income go and support the Dharmic people, by which the clenching of karma has happened. The karma theory really works well, and it just supports to generate more wealth and wealth. So it becomes a dharmic responsibility for the wealth generator. So you are in the cycle, you are moving on it. You own your wealth, but don't possess it. So that it becomes a part of societal GDP and all, etc., etc., etc. Having all this as a part of thinking about how it helps, even when he is going and thinking of attending a program, creates a lot of completion in Sorry, I think it's sorry for the technical glitch. I was think we have got interpreted for few. Completion it brought. Well, it's a different dimension. I personally felt, just I want to share, whatever the money I have spent towards Swamiji program or something, it always gives the complete and it gives such a deep happiness, blissfulness. And as he says, we will always be fear of doing it. But when I look back, we might be having so many financials ups and downs and financials, to be done, not to be done. But what all we have given to Swamiji has always come back with a bang, with a big return on investment. If you're a financial man, you would love to listen what is the return on investment of all this. Of course, that's not a right term to understand what is Swamiji is giving, because what he is giving is you can't put a value to it. You can't put a price tag to it. Okay, it is absolutely value. I mean, too much value to what we can even think of. But with your common cheap mind also, it gives so much fulfillment and so much add value to your life. That is the only reason we will start respecting our money. When you are spending money just making to attend these programs and other things, it does, Swamiji very nicely put it, even before you start a program, he will start operating on you. Your Shivatva will start coming up. Your Shivatva will start coming up. That's a benefit of, a wealth. That's one of the beautiful expression of Sadashiva in the wealth dimension. To just remind all our viewers to enjoy this, your wealth dimension, how it works. I would recommend all of you to attend upcoming Paramashivoham, which is starting on October 6th. By default, it's having 21 days. There is a reason Swamiji kept all this program for 21 days. It just completely changed your DNA, your muscle memory, bioenergy, all will be refreshed, and Swamiji is there to make it happen. And after, of course, it's having 21 days, and it has an option of 10 days also. You can attend any days. You have an option for it. But 21 days is highly recommendable. It's not just a program. It's a life-changing event for you. Sitting with Guru for few hours in this current world, what is the tapas you can do is you can generate a wealth. It's not equivalent to tapas. It's very, very easily you all can generate a wealth. But you can't go to Himalayas and sitting for years together some tapas. What you'd be getting it? Just sitting in a Zoom room, sitting with Swamiji on his Upanishad. He's there to pour all things on your life. And money, let me reiterate what I said. Money is not going to be the problem for attending this. It's only your mind. When you are in the process of generating wealth for it.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
For the opportunity. Thank you so much, Surya Kumaraya. It was excellent sharing. Thank you so much. Nithyananda.
Thank you so much, Avimuktanandaya and Surya Kumaraya, for sharing all these instances from your life, and sharing how various teachings of Swamiji are being applied practically in the world by our participants and by our causes. Thank you so much. Now it is time. We'll be moving on to today's Alive Satsang. Let us all please sit straight with our head, neck, spine in a straight line, with our hands together in front of our heart, and chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivam, to receive our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in the upcoming Alive Satsang. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivasamarambam. Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva-shakti-madhyamam. Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and blessings. I welcome all the living, practicing Hindus from all over the world, de facto Kailasians. I welcome all the Sarvanya Pita Kartas, Yajaman, ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, citizens, consulate generals, Mantreshwara, Vidyeshwara, Ganeshwara, Lokeshwara, Astreshwara. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from KAILASA. Listen. There is a space where time is not past, present, future. It is just is. The pure isness forms the basis of existence of time. In that time, which is only is, there is no past,
present, future. Past, present, future, all is ease. In that space, Paramashiva manifested all his 64 forms for various leelas. For example, Lingodbhava manifested to establish the supremacy of Paramashiva. Paratva of Paramashiva. Shiva Paratva is established by Lingodbhava by showing Brahma and Vishnu their space and their manifestations. Listen. But the Lingodbhava can never be called as was. At that time, Lingodbhava manifested. You can't say Lingodbhava is. Kalabhairava manifested to remove the ego of Brahma, to remove one head, the ego head of the Brahma. Actually, we can't use the word manifested. He is manifesting still now, will be manifesting forever. Because the space where Paramashiva manifested as Kalabhairava, as Lingodbhava, does not have past, present, future. Listen. The space from which Kalabhairava manifested the space from which Lingodbhava manifested. For example, one more example. Veerabhadra manifested. Paramashiva manifested as Veerabhadra to kill Daksha, destroy Dakshayanya. Actually, we can't say he manifested and disappeared. No, we can't use that word. He is manifesting. Paramashiva manifested as Kala, Mrityunjaya. He killed Kala, death, for Markandeya and stood as Kala. We can't say this in past tense because he is still there. He manifested in a space where there is no past, present, future. It is just simply present. You need to understand that space you need to understand. Only then you will understand the 64 different manifestations, superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. Understand? Even if you intellectually understand the superconscious mutations of Paramashiva, you will manifest him. You will celebrate him. You will enjoy him. You will be alive. And
you yourself will experience the very manifestations of Paramashiva in your existence. See, Paramashiva manifested as Dakshinamurti to teach Veda and Agamas to Targamana rishis. It's not that it was a past. If you become silent to free yourself from the past, present, future, through unclutching, you can see he is teaching even now in that huge cosmic sound. Om, even recorded by NASA. That soundless sound, Anahata Dhvani. Om. If you can hear it through the deep unclutching, you can see Dakshinamurti teaching you now. Dakshinamurti teaching you now. Paramashiva manifested as Ardhanarishwara to give darshan to Bringi Maharshi and to teach the whole universe. Devi is always one with him. She is in oneness. Shakti is not separate. So, each of the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva is one expression, one superconscious manifestation, one of the superconscious mutation of Paramashiva in his various manifestations. I should say superconscious mutation manifestation of Paramashiva is countless. All these manifestations are beyond time. I am talking about 64 because he revealed 64 to planet Earth for all of us to know. But surely there's a lot more. For all of us, what we need to know is revealed. Understand? First, meditate and try to understand there is a space without past, present, future, just is. Past, present, future is nothing but time cognized by the mind, which can cognize only small things, which cannot cognize the pure isness. When you are agitated and restless inside, You cognize only small, small things. Kanda, kanda, kanda. Small, small, small. When you are peaceful, unclutched, powerful inside, you see akanda, unbroken, which is no pieces, pure akanda. That is why in Hindu tradition, time is always shown as circular, not linear. It is circular. Soon the world will realize the linear idea of time may be useful for history documentation, but in reality, if you want to understand time, use the time as one of the strength for civilization. You need to understand the circular existence of time. Listen. For your day-to-day building a house or surveying the land, the idea earth is flat is useful. But to understand the whole universe, the idea earth is flat is insufficient. You need to come to the truth, earth is globe. Same way, to record history, understanding time as a linear movement may be useful. But to understand time in reality, realizing time is circular, and time there is no was, will, time is. Time is. If you cognize that, you will understand Dakshinamurti is manifesting now. Paramashiva is manifesting as Linga now. As a Linga Murti now. Paramashiva is manifesting as Lingodbhava Murti now. Understand? All you need to enjoy the powers and superconscious mutation of 64 manifestations of Paramashiva is to have the right knowledge about all that 64 manifestations. You need to understand Paramashiva as he introduces himself. Listen, if you want to understand me, you need to understand as I introduce me to you. You can't understand me with your own independent investigation. Neither your mind is capable nor your consciousness is powerful to grasp my existence as it is. You can only understand my existence as per my introduction. Same way, you can understand Paramashiva only based on his own introduction. Understanding him based on his own introduction awakens something called Shraddha in you, not faith. Faith is poor word. Shraddha. And Shraddha breeds bhakti. And all the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, auspicious qualities of Paramashiva starts manifesting in you. Powers of Paramashiva starts manifesting in you. Listen, you just need to know what is swimming and see somebody is swimming, then simply your muscle memory starts manifesting swimming. Same way, you just need to know about the superconscious mutations of Paramashiva and see someone manifesting it. Your muscle memory, bioenergy, all will just pick up. And simply you will enjoy superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. So today I am trying to introduce the principles of superconscious mutation of Paramashiva and the 64 manifestation which he himself introduces in Veda and Agamas. I'll introduce one by one. Listen intensely. Even if you missed, watch this satsang again, because this satsang is not was, it will be is forever. You can replay and watch. It is not was, is or will be. It is. What Paramashiva manifested as Dakshinamurti to Sanakadi Rishis, what he revealed as Uma Maheshwara to Uma Parvati, now I am revealing to all of you the same, from that same isness, tatata. So receive, replay, internalize, and start manifesting. Lingamurti, this whole universe, even NASA says now, they are very clear, the whole universe in the form of linga. Trillions and trillions and trillions of Brahmanda as manifested as linga. Next, Lingodbhava. Paramashiva manifests as Lingodbhava, Arunachala, to resolve the conflict between Brahma and Vishnu and establish the real truth about the supremacy. Next, he manifests as Mukhalinga, means Linga with 5 faces of Sadashiva: creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. These 5 faces of Paramashiva manifesting in Linga, Mukhalinga. Next, Sadashivamurti. The same 5 action of Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. In the form with 5 heads, 10 hands, and 15 eyes, he manifests as Sadashivamurti. Listen. Listen very sincerely, intensely. The introduction I am giving for each Murti is directly from Agama, as he introduced himself in Vedas and Agamas. I am just giving you English translation. All you need to do, sit with unclutched space and listen. You can see that very manifestation now in present. This whole Paramashivoham level 3, all I am trying to do is put this superconscious mutation in you. Full 21 days, what I am trying to do elaborately, I am trying to do in this 3 hours webinar. 3 hours, I can say 5 hours webinar. If you just listen intensely, as he revealed himself, you can experience now. Sadashivamurti. Next to Sadashivamurti is Mahasadashivamurti. Listen. Mahasadashivamurti is 25 dimensions together. Understand first this 5 dimension of Sadashivamurti. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, liberation. Actually, you are doing these 5 actions every day. Every day you create some part of your body newly, some part of your muscle memory newly, some part of your biomemory newly, some part of your bioenergy newly. And every day you do sustenance of your body, mind, being. Every day you do rejuvenation. Millions of cells die and millions get newly generated, replenished, rejuvenated. If you just understand this, you will see all, including cancer in your body, will be healed. Just understand this one dimension of Paramashiva. Every cell dying in your body, every cell newly creating in your body, that samhara is not ordinary destruction, it is rejuvenation. Anyone who meditates on Rudra, Lord of Samhara, will be free from all types of cancers. All types of cancers. Mukta, make sure your dad is sitting for the session. I'm not seeing him in the camera. Make sure he's on the camera. Listen. If you want Nitya Yavana, eternally to remain young, beautiful, handsome, meditate on Rudra. Rudra is Paramashiva's manifestation of rejuvenation. So understand, if you understand you are doing every day rejuvenation in your body, not only you will heal yourself from all disease, you will ever be young, energetic, beautiful, because you will not allow the tiredness, boredom to settle down in your body. If you want to be eternally young, beautiful, meditate on Rudra. Invoke Rudra in your inner space. That is why in Hindu tradition, the people who worship Rudra, connect with Rudra and become eternally young and beautiful are called Rudra Kanyas. You need only one understanding. You are the one who is rejuvenating. Same way, you should know you are the one who is deluding yourself. The agitation, any form of agitation, any form of perturbed restlessness, agitation, is you putting yourself in delusion. Understand? Whenever you are agitated, deluded, restless, powerless, all you need is hold unclutching. Unclutching is the Trishula of Paramashiva. Just hold the unclutching. The greatest Shivastra, Pashupatastra, is unclutching. Hold, unclutching, and settle down from the delusion, agitation, powerlessness. You will simply enter into liberation, anugraha, moksha. Mukha, you can create a new window for him. You can give one more connection. He doesn't need to get up from the bed. He can, but I want to see him and I want him to see me. You can get one more connection. Listen. All of you listen. If you understand the 5 action, Panchakritya, Srishti, creation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Listen. If you understand all these 5, if you understand all these 5 is happening in your very body, mind, every day, connect with that source energy which is doing that every day in you. That is Rudra. And bow down to that Rudra every morning. Oh Mahadeva, Paramashiva, oh Rudra, you are here. Doing this great rejuvenation in me. I trust your decision. I trust you. Please be intensely alive in me. Keep me eternally young by rejuvenating me. I tell you, listen carefully. Listen intensely. Simple, ordinary connection with Rudra energy, with Rudra who is present. Understand? Rudra is not past. He is present. He is actually just now watching over me. and making sure I utter the right word, which creates right introduction about himself in all of you. He is sitting right now in my tongue and moving, making me utter right words. So you all understand Rudra properly in your inner space. Actually, if you are going through any disease or your family, especially your own DNA, like your own father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, or any of your own blood relation going through any serious illnesses, just sit next to them. See, if you are going through, sit with yourself and see how the Rudra is working. And because you never recognize the Rudra's work due to your delusion and agitation, you feel you are falling into destruction and death. If you just sit and watch yourself or them going through Rudra, actually you will also understand the power of Rudra. You will even heal them. Suhas, sit with your grandfather and you try this as a meditation. See how Rudra is rejuvenating in his body and how Rudra is doing his work in his body. One, you will understand the power of Rudra. Not only you will manifest the power of Rudra, you will even be able to help him and heal him and rejuvenate him. I tell you, usually, when you start all these meditation or connecting or these higher manifestations, when you yourself going through some physical disease, it will be a little difficult. That time you need my grace directly. Directly, I need to intervene and lift you. But if some of your relatives, blood relatives are going through, sit with them and see. That will actually awaken Rudra in you. It will help you and the other person, both. So it will be all a very powerful manifestation. Somebody is asking Swamiji, what is the best Rudra mantra to invoke Rudra? See, in Samaya Diksha, the mantra you get, I'll give Samaya Diksha now itself to all of you. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. This is the best mantra to manifest all 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 Now listen. The next form is Mahasadashivamurti. Paramashiva with his 25 dimensions. See, this 5 aspects like a creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. These 5 into 5. I'll explain, listen. Creation getting created. Creation getting sustained. Creation energy getting rejuvenated. Creation energy put into delusion and pulled out of delusion. Creation energy liberated. Liberation. Creation goes through, creation energy goes through these 5. Same way, sustenance energy goes through the 5. Sustenance energy getting created, getting sustained, getting rejuvenated, getting deluded, getting liberated. Same way, rejuvenation energy getting created, getting sustained, getting rejuvenated, getting deluded, and getting liberated. This 5 going into this 5 forms 25 cosmic dimension. These 25 cosmic dimensions of Paramashiva is the 25 face of Paramashiva. Listen. This 25 face, even if you understand intellectually and start connecting, he will simply manifest in you because he is. Right now he is sitting with all the auspicious, joyful, blissful, kolagala, nityotsava, swarupa in Maha KAILASA and manifesting through me, through the right words and body language and the superconscious energy and initiating all of you right now. Even if you just internalize and understand, you will connect with him right now and manifest his all superconscious mutations in you verily. Paramashiva, in his Maha Sadashiva Murti manifestation, who is the Lord of Maha KAILASA, with the 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands, Sarva Mangala, Sarva Atsarya, Sarva Swatantra, Sarvanyatva, Ananta Kalyana Gunaswarupa, Tejomaya, Swayam Prakas, in his form, is alive. Listen. You are introduced by him about him. Now, he is introducing himself about himself to you right now. So, just sit and receive. KAILASA Vision team has done a beautiful job of collecting all these 64 manifestations and naming it in English for you to connect. When I describe, you can easily connect. I know, surely within these 5 hours, all the 64 explaining all the 64 manifestations may not be possible, but at least I'll give a simple introduction and connect. So you can all start getting the glimpse. For now, the next form of Paramashiva, Uma Maheshwara Murti. This is the manifestation, Paramashiva, teaching Vedas and Agamas, revealing Vedas and Agamas to himself, Paramashiva Shakti. This is the form we worship in Adi Kailasa in Bangalore and Paschima Kailasa in Los Angeles. In both Adi Kailasa in Bangalore and Paschima Kailasa in Los Angeles, both places, this form is only worshipped of Paramashiva. He, having Devi in his lap, revealing Vedas and Agamas to Devi with a tremendous love, care, and blessings. The next form is Sukhasanamurti. Again, he is also manifested mainly for teaching Vedas and Agamas and giving the grace not only to Devi along with Devi to everyone. That is why in this form, the Devi and he both will be sitting in Samasana on the Sarvanya Pita of Kailasa. He and Devi both will be sitting on Samasana. In Uma Maheshwara Murti, Devi will be sitting on his lap. Now, Devi will be sitting in Samasana with him, because along with Devi, he graces the whole universe. That is Sukhasana Murti. Next form, manifestation, is Umesha Murti. In this Murti also, he graces to the whole universe along with Uma. So, he is called Umesha Murti. Next form is Somaskanda Murti. This manifestation is with Uma and Skanda. Somaskanda Murti means Soma, Asi, Skanda. Soma means Paramashiva himself. Asi means his own Devi, his own manifestation in the female form. Paramashiva Shakti, Devi, Asi. Skanda, his own manifestation, Subramanya. So all the three together is Somaskanda Murti. This form is the largest worshipped form of Paramashiva almost in all temples. See, the first will be Linga form. Next will be the Somaskanda Murti form. He receives all the Utsavas, Brahmotsavas, almost in all temples. So he is the most popular form of Paramashiva, most worshipped superconscious mutation of Paramashiva, Somaskanda Murti. The next, Chandrasekhara Murti. The Paramashiva manifested to save moon, Chandra. And this is the Chandrasekhara Murti. Next, Vrishabharuda Murti. Paramashiva sitting on Rishabha, his Vahana, with Devi. He is the Rishabharuda manifestation of Paramashiva. Next is Vrishabhantika Murti. He leaning, standing next to Rishabha, leaning on Rishabha in a very unique way. It's a very beautiful form. If you go to Los Angeles temple, in the entrance, you will see this form, because this is exactly the form he gave me a darshan in my old quarters in Biddi. So I made this form, Rishabhandagar, and wanted to install there, but I sent it to Los Angeles, thinking that I will make another one for Los Angeles. In the reception, if you see, he will be standing tall. That deity is Rishabhantaka Murti. Still, his Rishabha has not reached Adi Kailasa. Sorry, Paschima Kailasa. Rishabha is also made. It is there in Adi Kailasa. That has to be brought and assembled. But that Rishabhantaka Murti is there in Paschim Kailas. I think still Rishabha has not yet got the visa. He has to get the visa and come. Next form, Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Listen. This whole universe rests in Paramashiva, on him. Paramashiva reveals this truth to all the living beings. In him, everything resides. That manifestation of that superconscious truth is Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Next. Bhujanga Trashamurti. It is like he stands tall. Listen to this truth. He stands tall even during the Mahapralaya, when everything is destroyed, everything actually merges inside him, rests in him. See, even when the universe is manifested, that stays on him. That is described by Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Even during the Pralaya, everything goes in him, is demonstrated by Bhujanga Trashamurti. Next. Sandhya Nrittamurti. See, Sandhya means the day and night meeting, and destruction, pralaya, and creation meeting. For you to understand roughly, you can roughly understand as Ice Age. During every Ice Age, he dances the cosmic dance. That is called Sandhya Tandava. Listen. Whenever you feel everything in your life is falling apart, suddenly business is collapsing, wife is leaving, and kids are not listening to you. It's almost like your whole life is going. What do you think as your life is going? Health is failing. Whenever you feel that pralaya is happening in you, meditate on this Sandhya Nrittamurti. Invoke him. Mahadeva, you are doing your Sandhya Nritya in my life. Just show me you are doing the Sandhya Nritya. That's enough. He will simply manifest auspiciousness in you. Listen. He just wants you to know he is doing Sandhya Tandava in your life. If you recognize it, you will say, all right, come on. Now, it is time. Let's start the creation. Let the new yuga start. Let the new universe manifest. Let the new life manifest. If you want new life to manifest in you, connect with Sandhya Tandava Murti. Nritta means Tandava. Sandhya Nritta Murti. Tandava goes through certain discipline. Nritta is beyond all discipline. So, if you feel things are falling apart in your life, connect with Sandhya Nritta Murti. Mahadeva, Paramashiva, I know you are doing Sandhya Nritta in me. Just reveal that you are doing Sandhya Nritta, so I'll be in peace. That's all. He will feel very shy. Hey, this fellow caught me. Now he knows my Leela. Okay, come on. All right. I'll create the new life for you. I'll manifest new life for you. Delusion will delude you as long as you have not recognized the delusion is deluding you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding you, it can no more delude you. Delusion cannot delude you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding you. Actually, even this Sandhya Nrittamurti we have in Seattle Temple. Seattle Temple, we have not only the huge Nataraja, Ananda Nataraja, we have some more dancing forms of Shiva. I think we have done some, that 108 dancing forms of Shiva, and sent to different temples few deities, few forms. So Seattle has Ananda Tandava, as in Chidambaram, and Sandhya Nrittamurti, and even Los Angeles has few more Tandavas of Paramashiva's forms. So connect with this superconscious mutation, Sandhya Nrittamurti. You will realize nothing is falling apart, everything is falling in place. If you know Paramashiva, you will know everything falls in place. If you don't know Paramashiva, you may be deluded thinking everything is falling apart. The next Murti of Paramashiva, Sada Nrittamurti. He dances during creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. In all the Panchakrityas, he does Sada Dandava. He is called Sada Nrittamurti. This Swami is also called Ananda Tandava. If the Devi form is not attached, is called Ananda Tandava. If the Devi form is also attached, is called Sadanritta Tandava, Sadanrittamurti. In Seattle earlier we had only Ananda Tandava, means only Paramashiva dancing. Then we added the Devi Murti. Now is Sadanrittamurti. Connect with Sadanrittamurti to have everything. He will give you creation related powers, sustenance related powers, rejuvenation related powers, delusion related powers like pulling out of delusion, everything, and liberation related powers. Sadadandavamurti, Sadanrittamurti. Sadanrittamurti. Actually, I wanted to build a temple for all the 64 manifestations in US. That is why that time itself, in 2001, I started carving all these deities. The Uma Maheshwara Murti I carved is sitting in Ohio. See, if you see Paramashiva in San Jose, he will be having fire and Damaru. But if you see Ohio Paramashiva, he will be having man and maru, deer and the maru, these two in his hand, because he is carved as per the agama of Uma Maheshwaramurti. The sixth form I explained to you, that is the form we worship in Ohio. And Sadanritta Murti is in Seattle. Maybe all the present temples can take the responsibility and make the 64 temples in US to bless the whole US. All the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva should have a temple in US. The Houston Linga is called Mukha Linga. The Kalahasti Linga, you will see the top of the Linga will have all the faces of Paramashiva, Muha. So each of the deity, if you see in the temples, Paramashiva temples we built in US, will have one manifestations of these 64 forms of Paramashiva. The next, Chandatandava Murti. This is one of the powerful dance where Mahadeva and Devi both dancing. Seeing this only, the Arunagiri, the great sage from Tiruvannamalai, Arunagiri Nadar, not Arunagiri Yogeshwara. Arunagiri Yogeshwara is Paramashiva himself. Arunagiri Nadar sings, Adala Seta Narada, Agilamer Midada, Abinakali Tanada, Avalodan, Adiravisi Vadadum, Vidayileru Varada, Arugubuda Vedalam Avayada, Adala Seta Narada. It's a very beautiful description of dance happening in Kailasa. How Paramashiva is dancing and Mahakali is dancing. Arugubhuta Vedalam Avayada, all the Bhutas, Vedalas, Pretas of Paramashiva dancing, all of them jumping. It's a very beautiful Tiruppugal where Arunagirinathar had the darshan of Kailasa, Mahakailasa, and describes it. Adala Seda Narada, Agilameru Midada. Such beautiful description. This Chandatandava Murti, if you connect with him, you will experience raw bliss. Raw bliss in all the aspects of Paramashiva. A real raw bliss, wild bliss will manifest in you if you connect with Chandatandava Murti. Next, Gangadhara Murti. This is the manifestation where Paramashiva receives Ganga from Satyaloka in his jata and releases to Bhuloka in a very protected way. If the Ganga comes with all her power, the planet Earth will not be able to sustain it. Same way, if the Ganga is not there in the planet Earth, it will dry up. It will go without water. So Paramashiva does the job of transformer. He receives it and gives to the level which is needed. A real conscious water management system for the universe is Paramashiva himself. His Jata is the real water management system, conscious, super conscious water management system. Next, Ganga Visarjanamurti. This is the form through which he releases Ganga. The earlier form, Gangadhara Murti, is receiving Ganga from Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. Ganga Visarjana is releasing Ganga to the Bhuloka. Next, Tripurantaka. This is the form in which he opened his three eyes. The manifestation as Tripurantaka, he opened three eyes and burnt Tripurasuras. The three demons who had three worlds for themselves. He burnt all of them just through opening the third eye. So, this manifestation is Tripurantaka Murti. If you want to destroy negativity, invoke him. Invoke Tripurantaka Murti, he will destroy it. Next, Kalyana Sundaramurti. This is the form with which he married Parvati and Meenakshi. Whenever he marries the incarnations of Parvati, he assumes Kalyana Sundaramurti form, comes and marries. This is a powerful manifestation. If you invoke him, all the relationship related issues will be cleared. He will bring completion all the relationship related issues. He is the manifestation of the most powerful superconscious relationship. Maybe I'll give you a small break. Then I'll reveal the truths about the Navakanda Yoga and how that helps to understand all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. I don't think just in one webinar we can receive all the 64 manifestations, because even to give a simple introduction to 64 will take at least 10 hours. So today I introduce the principles of this 64 manifestation. And I will reveal the core principle of Navakanda Yoga. I will reveal the Navakanda Yoga, which is the foundation principle of all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. So you can understand all the 64. So let's gather for next session. Be blissful. Blessings. Blessings. Be blissful. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side millions are in the platforms homeless. One side tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting